What's up, North County? You're tuned in to the Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear, and I am here tonight with my friends Ultra. How you guys doing?
We're doing really good.
All right.
Doing great.
And we got Gus, your last name?
Cristicini.
And Michael?
Michael Guarneiri.
Guarneiri, all right. Michael, you are a guitar player out of Ohio? Is that it?
Yes, that's true.
Native out of Ohio. What brought you to California?
So many moons ago, I was in a band, and I wrote a lot of my own music, started my own original band, and played the circuit in Cleveland, played the colleges, all the events that you could play in Cleveland, and I just realized I had to bust out of Cleveland. So I took my demo tape after I finished in the studio and just headed to LA. You know, that was back in the 90s, and just headed for LA and was looking to get signed and put a group together. I eventually settled in Santa Barbara because LA, I felt like a minnow in a large city.
Right.
Really, really hard to
Small
get around.
fish in a huge pond.
Exactly. Hard to make connections and stick. You meet people and never see them again. So it wasn't an attainable scene. But in Santa Barbara, I moved there because a friend invited me up for a weekend. And I'm like, I love this place. I'm moving here. So everything was much more attainable, much smaller scene. You meet people, you get to see them again. Made friends with club owners. I put together my own original band called In Mother's Garden, and we started playing all the clubs, playing Fiesta, Earthquake Relief, and Unity, and all these special events. So we really, really got around. I signed a one-song deal with Reset Records, and we got airplay on K-Tide and in Ventura. So we were on the radio, which really helped bring in more people.
Right.
And so we had a nice little ride for a little while, and bands were getting signed out of Santa Barbara at the time. So we just didn't, get that inked deal. But I enjoyed it while it lasted. Did some TV appearances, nice write up in the LA Times.
Sweet.
But it was a really, really cool scene at the time.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I had an acoustic guitar in my hands, probably like 13, 14.
Right.
You know, and back then I was just learning the guitar, playing Beatles songs and Neil Young songs, just to learn the instrument. Growing up listening to the Beatles is a great way to learn an instrument and learn how to sing and learn harmonies. I especially love the harmonies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love jumping to different harmonies. And that's how I learned to sing, and just played and jam with my buddies.
Right. And guitar, how did that, just at the same time you started singing, you just started playing guitar too?
Well, when I was 9 years old, my uncle came over, and he was taking Spanish guitar lessons. And he came over and he played one of his pieces for us. And I'm just like, oh my God, that sounds fantastic. And we were talking about flamenco guitar and Spanish guitar and Andres Segovia. And I'm like, oh, I love the sound just to hear that up close. And then he let me play it, and I was just playing on one string and enjoying it. So long story short, he left the guitar there. And somehow I already had a very good ear. So I listened to the radio and listened to my records, and I could play it right on the guitar right away.
Oh, good.
I started figuring out chords, and then I started taking lessons, and then private lessons, and then I got really good at it. So I've been playing ever since my Uncle Joe put a guitar in my hands when I was 9.
Now, did you ever take any actual vocal lessons or anything like that, or are you just self-taught?
Choir in in grade school, which
me
helped.
too.
And I probably had like one vocal coach a little bit later on in life, but I was able to basically sing within my range and pretty much nail what I had the capability of singing.
Right.
So more self-taught.
That's cool. I know a lot of really, really good. One of my brother and one of my best friends ever is a self-taught singer, and he's quite amazing for being a self-taught singer. I'm like, oh, wow.
Well, I sang with the Beatles.
Yeah.
I put on the record.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I would jump harmonies.
Yeah, me too.
I
I sang with all my
learned.
favorites. So
and then
that's a
from
good
other
way.
artists.
It's a good way to do it. I put on headphones and then put my studio together and sing through my headphones. And then when I feel I got it right, I'll move over maybe to my monitors or whatever. Usually just my headphones, but yeah, it works that way. And Gus, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. My parents started me on piano at a real young age.
Right.
So I played piano a lot, and I switched to accordion. Being Italian, that's kind of the culture. And then accordion didn't last too long, and then I got a guitar as a Christmas present. And my dad had a teacher that was one of his customers. He was a barber, and he taught me how to play guitar. And then he moved away for some reason, and my cousin took over and showed me some stuff. My cousin played bass as well as sang. And so I joined a band. I think it was one of these like talent shows at school.
Right.
And so I show up with the guitar, and they're like, yeah, well, we need someone to play bass. And I go, well, my cousin's got a bass, so I grabbed the bass. And so I played at the talent show, and then I've been playing bass ever since. I did take a big break, because that was in Canada. I grew up in Canada.
Right. I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, I grew up in Canada, so I took a big break, when I basically started a family. I put down the guitar, and I said, okay, I'm done with this now. I'm just going to get serious about,
Being a family man. Right.
being a family man. But when we got to the USA on a visa, I came here on an IT visa. At age 40, I picked it up again and just couldn't put it down. So I just played a lot at church, some bands. Coming here has been incredible, though.
What brought
there's
you
a
to
lot
the
of bands
States?
here. It was for work, IT visa. Yeah. So,
Oh.
I mean, I struggled in Canada a lot, and, I'm not criticizing Canada, but it was tough there, paying a lot of taxes and trying to get ahead. And I saw this opportunity to come to the U.S. on a
Well, good for
visa,
you.
and I just went for it.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love when people from other countries come and find their dream, because that's what America's about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
It was kind of a dream. It's funny because in my high school picture, it says that. It says, Gus is dreaming to go to California. And so I look back at
Here
that
you are,
picture,
right?
and here I am. It's kind of a
Good for you.
dream. Is that when you visualize it, it becomes a goal, and then you take these steps to get there. And so I took all the steps to get there, and I went to an immigration lecture in Niagara Falls, because I'm close to there, Niagara Falls.
Right.
And this lawyer explained that if you get into IT, there's a huge demand for IT people in the U.S. So I
Right.
went that route, and here I am.
There you go. Kind of the fast track, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. I think that, like I said, I think that all that is great, and it's one of those things where there's so many opportunities for people, and I myself I perceive to achieve. I see things long before I've ever done them. I lay in bed and fantasize about them. I fantasized about this show. I didn't know how. I didn't think I was ever going to get to this show, but I fantasized about having my own show, and here I am with my own show. So what the hell, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been singing?
So singing is kind of new for me. I've always wanted to do it, and it's funny that you mentioned the Beatles. So when I was playing guitar, the first book I had was a Beatle book. And so I was playing all the Beatles songs, right, on the guitar, all the chords, and I was singing in my mind, because you're singing while you're playing.
Yeah.
But I never had the guts to try it. And when I got here, actually, many bands later, church, I played at church a lot. I could have sang at church. I never took the opportunity. People like Michael have inspired me to start singing. And I was kind of like, really? I can sing? And then he sends me these vocal exercises.
Right.
And I do those. And then he inspires me and tells me how much I'm doing better. And they help me. Him and John help me, because they're better singers than I am. So to answer the question, I've been singing for the past 4 or 5 years. I started with Deja Vu, but it wasn't as necessary there, because they had 3 singers for harmonies. Right. In our band, there's only 2, so I had to be the third one to jump in the harmony.
Right.
So really, this last year has been quite the growth in singing for me.
But that's great.
Yeah.
I think singing is, I can play a little bit of everything, but singing is my forte.
I see that, yeah.
It's one of the things that I don't know how or why I do it the way I do it, but it works for me.
Yeah.
And I'm more of, like I explained to you before, I'm more of, I can play something and then show it to somebody and give them the idea of what I have, and then let them run with it, and then it's usually much better than what I came up with in the first place. So that's pretty cool. John, keyboard player?
Yeah.
And that is John Buerger?
John Buerger, correct.
Now let me move to this real quick. Now, how Ultra started was a jam at the legendary Powerhouse.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, so correct. So I took over the Powerhouse jams,
Okay.
long story short. And when I took them over, I didn't have a guitar player singer. So I was in panic mode, really. And I went on Bandmix and paid the subscription and started just hitting people up. Hey, you play guitar and sing? Can you come and host with me? I did have John on keys, and I had a drummer. It wasn't Mark, but Mark showed up and played with us. And so Michael answered my email and showed up, just like that.
Way to go, Michael.
And so there we are on the
It was a good
stage.
move.
Yeah, I would say so.
A fruitful
I don't even
move.
remember what we played, to be honest with you. We just jammed it out. We played a few songs. Who knows what it was? I can't remember. And it really sounded good. And Mark came up and played drums with us. So it was John, myself, Mark, and Michael, and we really clicked. And so afterwards, not even afterwards, we just got off the stage. Another set of people got on the stage, because I usually have people sign in and go up.
Right.
And then I just said, this can be a band. And everyone's already in a band except for Michael, right? So John's already in Moonstone, Mark's already in Scratch, I'm in Deja Vu, and Michael was not in a band. And I'm like, we can start something. 2 bands are not a problem here. And I want to do something 80s, 90s-ish. And he just basically sent us a set list of his library of all these 80s songs and 90s songs. And we just start picking. And it really came together really quickly. Within, I think, a couple of months, we were already playing everything pretty good.
Right.
And we got our first gig in April, and we got together in February, and last year we played 24 gigs.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so it came together fast, but I hear people saying that, after about 6 months, we started clicking and really everything started to come together.
Right. Now, how long, do you guys know how long John's actually been on keyboards?
Michael might know.
Well, John started off as a classical pianist, so he's.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he has a music degree.
Nice.
I'm not positive, but he played classical piano at a young age, so he's well trained.
You can play that. You can play pretty much anything. So
what I
you're,
know of John is
you're in good
he-
hands there.
Yeah, he loves a lot of the music that was in the 80s. So we were talking about, when we were jamming, and then afterwards we talked about a lot of 80s and 90s songs. It was just songs that in bands that he just loved, because he's a former DJ.
Right.
So he's been in that field for many years, and there's a lot of music that he loved. And I think a little bit later in life he pulled his keyboards, electronic keyboards together, just like, I want to play that music. I want to just go out and have some fun.
Right.
And I think he was well tuned, well practiced, his skills well honed by the time that we met, because when we were going over our song list and we started rehearsing and playing, he dialed in the music really, really well. And it's really a big endeavor for keyboardists to tackle the keyboard sound library of 80s and 90s songs, because we're playing iconic songs.
Right.
From,
and you're switching over and programming all that stuff.
There's a lot of
So
programming.
it's not like just going from the piano to the keyboards and just playing what you
Yeah.
play. It's a totally different animal.
So you have to be a good keyboard player, first of all.
Right.
And second, you have to be a good technician.
Right. You got to be able to program it.
And he's excellent at both.
That's great.
And
You guys got lucky there.
Yeah, we're
to find,
lucky all
find
around.
somebody that's like that, who's really willing to sit down and say, well, I'm a pianist, but I want to join this project, and this project, defies me, makes me to do this. I need to do this, and to actually sit down and do all, because that's a lot of work behind the scenes that nobody sees, right?
Right.
It's just like kind of when we rehearse, when we vocalize, when we rehearse at home, work on all the songs, all the things that we do in the studio that nobody ever sees, and then we go out and play, and people go, "Oh, you guys are great!" Like we just became great tonight. It took a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's funny because Michael said it at the beginning. He goes, "This group is very technical. Like we all have technology background. Mark's a software developer. He's a drummer, and he, by the way, he does all our videos. He brought cameras in, totally surprised us, videotapes us, records us off the board, synchronizes it, and creates the videos that you can see on our website and Instagram and Facebook. And even John, he's very technically sound. He knows computers well, so he can read manuals. He learns really fast. Michael too's got a technology background. I have a technology background. So all of us are pretty technical. So that helped us get together quicker. Because today, when you're learning a song, you could go on YouTube. You can get the technology. You can dial in the tone.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that.
You can dial in the tone.
Yeah.
You can, like, if you wanted to play like Edge on YouTube, you can go look up all this echoes,
all the
and reverbs.
settings. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So back in the day, we used to listen to vinyl and learn off vinyl.
Right. And it was just your ear.
Right.
Yeah.
But so we use the technology. And talking about John has a ton of technology in front of him. He runs our sound as well. And he's got keyboards and sound. He downloads patches. He's got everything. He's got a ton of responsibility on him when we're playing our music. And we just trust him. And just gets it all done.
He's like our tech center.
That's cool. Well, it's great that you guys have somebody like that on your team. You know, somebody that, you know, like you said, everybody has their specific job title and the work or thing that they need to do that makes the band what it is. And that's what makes the band so popular, right? When you get out and you start playing and people see it and hear it, you know, they don't realize that each one of you have these things that you're doing to make it what it is, which is really pretty cool. Because a lot of bands aren't like that. A lot of bands just get out there and play and...
Right. Yeah, that's true. If you watch a video, and I've watched them a lot, and you look at the individuals, everyone's passionate about what they're doing. You can see it in their eyes and in their posture. John is so passionate when he's playing his keys. He's loving every moment of it.
Right. You know, when you were talking about the videos that you guys make, you know, that's the cool thing about what you guys are doing there, because there's a lot of bands, mine, you know, my last band in particular, people will videotape us from the crowd or whatever, and then they'll post it online. And I was just talking to Daniel Formica on the last interview, saying that I hate to say it, but I'm kind of the guy that I'll go online and I'll see it and I'll either go, oh, that was great, you know, I'm happy with that, or I'll go online and I'll go, ooh, you know, I'll get on my phone and I'll be like, hey, could you take that off, you know? But with how you guys are doing it, you know, 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, it's going to be great unless it's just a performance flaw. Like, in other words, the sound is going to sound great.
Yeah,
he dials it in.
He dials it in. But there are some people that'll, you know, get their iPhone out and record us,
which is great.
And they'll tell me about it, and I'll go look at it, and the quality is not quite as good because maybe they're standing too close to the speaker, or maybe their phone is just an older phone. It doesn't record very well, or something's out of focus. But you know, as musicians, I mean, we look at all that detail, but Mark puts out great videos.
So he uses a 3-camera angle, which keeps it really exciting. So you're not just getting the one perspective and it's just stuck in a still frame. So he's got, and he switches it around too. So you'll get, like, maybe from behind the stage, you'll get the drum angle, and then you'll get different angles of the band members depending how he sets it up for the gig. And he has one out in the audience, and then he's recording right off of the board, off of, you know, John's mixer. So we get, you know, first of all, you know, great quality sound, and then when he does the edits, he'll edit the 3-camera setup, and he'll put together just really great clips. I mean, we're just kind of in a fast video edit, you know, media world, so you got to keep it exciting because you can be bored in 5 seconds. So he just keeps it moving, so it keeps it exciting, and then it might be a 30-second clip. You're in, you're out, and like, okay, that was a nice blast of a Ultra in concert. It was you know. And he picks out, you know, the pieces, the segments of the songs that are really, really highlight a great performance. And another thing I think that he captures, and he captures it well, and we're really fortunate, a lot of people come to our gigs, and he gets the crowd pictures. Right. So he gets a picture from the stage or from out in the audience, and you'll see a packed floor of people just dancing. And I think it's really important to see that people are responding to the music, because we're doing that music to play for a crowd, to really, you know, get them dancing and, you know, suspend their reality for a few hours and just make sure they have a really, really good time.
Definitely.
And we're doing that, and it's showing in the videos.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and when we do, we're going to talk about Mark, your drummer, and we will be right back. Thanks for tuning in. We got Ultra in the house, so call up some friends and tell them to tune on in.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
Welcome back, Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. We have Ultra in the house. I want to talk about Mark
Armendariz.
Armendariz?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, Mark. A drummer, and he was actually in Scratch for a while, right?
Yeah, he was. So
He played at my benefit with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
He has his own posse. So we played at Man Rock, and a whole bunch of people showed up to see him only. Like, you didn't know nothing about Ultra.
Right.
They were there for him because they knew him from Scratch. And he's a super drummer.
He is a super drummer. I've seen him.
And so let me tell you what he plays. He sent to me, he plays DW Performance Series kit with a Ludwig Superphonic snare drum and Zygian cymbals. Okay. And we talked about what he does with the cameras. But I know that he grew up in Wasco.
Okay.
He did all the drumline stuff in high school. And really, he's younger than my son. So this guy's in his 30s.
Well, he's in his 30s?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's very mature, and he does the homework. Because, you see him play, and I mean, Michael can tell you because he knows his stuff. We gave him the Police songs, and he nails them. Right, Michael?
Yeah, he can really nail the technique of a famous drummer like Stuart Copeland.
Love Stuart Copeland.
Yeah, and we'll play a few Police songs, and then he shows up to practice or the gig, and it's like, oh my God, you really nailed that fill and those backbeats and those rim shots, those signature shots of drumming from Stuart Copeland, of course, and he'll get them. So he really practices at home, and every time he comes to practice, he's ready for the song. His influences, as he's told me, are, and I like his influences too, because I think he plays great drums. And we wanted a rock drummer. So he likes, John Bonham. He likes Roger Taylor from Queen and Dave Grohl. And I'm just like, oh, that's who I want to play with. Because I've been writing original music, and I've been really working on the drums. And I go, I wish I could find a hot player. And when we did that first jam together at Powerhouse, he was the second drummer to step up on stage when we played. And while we were playing, I kept turning around like, who's this guy? He's just like, he is really doing it for me for us just jamming live in front of a crowd for the first time. So that's why a big reason why we sat down and talked as well. So it's a great pleasure to play with Mark.
Yeah, he played with Scratch, obviously, and I know I'm good friends with Jeff Cannon. I've known Jeff for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And Scratch, great group of guys, great band. My buddy Andy Zepeda is who took over for him on drums. Mm-hmm. I played music with Andy a little bit. And so that's kind of cool,
Yeah, they were very supportive. In fact, most of them were there that day at Man Rock. They were there to support him. Like, he left on good terms.
Right.
And they were there, and they watched us, and they complimented us, and they talked to him. And like I say, he has his own posse that follows him around. As of today, we'll go somewhere, and there's a couple that comes all the time, and they basically came through Mark. They knew Mark. They like our music, don't get me wrong, right, but they follow Mark around.
Well, I think that's the great thing about this community, in the music community as far as the musicians go, is that, you guys have played in bigger cities. I played in New York City. It is, at least in New York City, it is not like it is here. It's not in LA. It's not like it is here. Here, it's more, the music community is more like a family. Yeah. Than anything. We're all willing to help one another out. If it's say it's a festival show, or there's a band played at 3 o'clock, and then they're driving through town, another band's playing at 7, and they stop in to see that band. Mm-hmm. If that guitar player's rig conks out, that guy's going to go, hey, stay right there. I got my rig in my car. And he's going to run out and he's going to get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got guys like Ed Frawley at Central Coast Music, who, if your gear conks out, you could probably call up Ed, and he's going to probably, help you out. It's a music community where if somebody leaves a band because they think they could do something more for themselves and build something bigger, the band that they're leaving or the musicians that they're leaving are proud for them. They're good for them. They're happy for them. They're like, right on, good for you. And that's how it should be. And I think I've seen so many bands. You got my buddy Ernie Rodriguez. You got Gene Baker. You got Soundhouse. You got all these bands that basically have what Gene Baker would call a revolving door.
Sure.
So we're a revolving community of these musicians that are willing to help
I've
one
seen
another out.
that. And by the way, we owe it to you guys to pave the way here. I mean, I showed up here and I'm like, wow. And guys like Eric and Ernie and Gene Baker, I don't want to miss anyone. Rolf, there's all these guys that have been playing here for so long, Todd Andrew, and they've paved the way for us.
Right.
So you guys have created that music community and the venues as well, So I'm very appreciative of the situation. I got here and I'm like, wow. So you guys paved the way, and that's great. And I think what you said about supporting each other, complimenting each other, that's great. I go watch bands all the time, and I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm talking to the venue owner and talking to the leader of the band, finding out the connections. They're helping me to understand who to talk to get a gig. So this helping each other out stuff is so different from the big cities I come from.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I see the difference too. And special note, I'm really surprised and impressed on how appreciative the audiences are.
Super.
They really are, and we're finding that people are getting to our gigs early, and they're there from the first song.
Because they want a good seat.
And they want a good seat.
They want a good table.
And they want to get ready to dance. And
Right.
I come from my gigging years in the past. It's the first set, you're just warming people up, and they're just like that. They're going to have a drink. They're not going to dance to the second set, and you want to play your maybe non-dance music in the first set.
Right, your dinner music.
We figured out right away, and we wanted this to happen too. And I'm glad that it did. Is we want people to dance right at the top. So we're not putting our, say, lesser songs at the beginning and then playing the big ones, the bigger, better ones towards the end. We start off with a bang. And
Right.
And when we play the siren, as soon as we play the first note, they're flocking to the floor. And they're there until our last song.
Which is great.
And it's amazing. So it allows us to take our performance to another level, not just playing and just having the onstage camaraderie, but now we're entertaining a large audience, an appreciative audience, a dancing audience. We get them. We love the audience participation. We have a few songs and we just did this on the spot. We have so many people that are responding. I see people singing to the songs that I would just say, Mark, break it down, and just let the audience sing.
Yeah,
so
that's
we have
a
a
great
few
idea.
songs, and people are just singing right away because we're playing songs that are people's anthems over the years.
Right. Well,
so they carry those songs in their heart, their whole lives. So if we're doing, whether it's Tears for Fears, Shout. Everyone sings on that one, or everyone wants to rule the world. They're singing. The Depeche Mode that we play, everyone's just like, enjoy the silence. They're singing on the choruses. Personal Jesus, they're singing on the chorus. One of our big songs too is from the Breakfast Club, Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. Everyone's singing on that one, and sometimes we just let them sing. The U2, they jump in and they're singing, so there's a lot of audience participation, and I think it really takes our playing chops and our performance to another level.
It does, yeah.
And so what's happening is at the end of the day, people are having a great experience with us.
Well, I think you're bringing them
Just
back.
lucky.
I think you're bringing them back to their high school days, to their glory days, when they didn't have a care in the world and life was super beautiful, and they didn't have bills, and they didn't have car insurance, and they didn't have all the things that we deal with as adults and as parents and all that. They like you said earlier, it's the 2.5 to 3 hours that they get to forget about all the other shit they've dealt with for the week and just come to an ultra show and forget about all that. And that's what you guys are bringing them. So that is a lot to be said for that. It really is.
That's definitely happening. We can see it. People are just forgetting about the rest of their life, going out Saturday night, having a good time. I think at the Siren, what we saw is the dance floor got so packed. Our wives were there. Some of our wives were there, and they were dancing at the beginning. They couldn't get on the dance floor afterwards. It was so packed. But people start dancing from their tables or whatever.
Right.
And, that's such an iconic place. We love playing there. Poorhouse, too, when we play there, people are just up dancing through the whole thing. And it's basically the set list. The set list is one great song after another. And, I let Michael and John do that. Mark and I, we're really the rhythm section. Right. So whatever they bring, we'll learn it. But they're picking great songs.
Now, are you the official song decider? Like, do you pick the songs, bring them to the band, and then they say, maybe I don't want to do that, or do you just decide?
I probably won't use decider, but probably the initiator.
Right.
Maybe I'm the kind of creative or musical visionary for the group. And because I'm the front man, I have to sing the songs, and I sing all the songs. I'm the lead singer for all the songs. So it has to be songs that I can sing.
Right,
I can
entering
sing
your
well.
register, right.
And we're not a wedding band where we can play anywhere from Billy Idol to Michael Jackson. I just don't have that range. But we're playing certain genres of music from bands that fit into this genre of alternative pop rock. And we're playing those hits that from the 80s, from the 90s, and New Millennium. We want to play some new songs too,
right.
But they're kind of in that genre, and nobody else is doing that. There might be a song or two that other groups might be doing, but we group them together, and people like that collection of songs, and they're identifying with that. Especially if people liked college radio or alternative music when they were in college or post-college.
Right.
It could be REM and Police. Those were college radio groups back in the day. U2 started up, and people probably didn't start hearing about getting into U2 till their third, fourth, or fifth album. But there's a lot of people that had their ear listening to, say, indie music, and I kind of tuned into that list. And all the guys in the band thought that was good too. But these guys will tell the guys in the group will say, "Yeah, that song's too obscure. I don't think it'll work," and I'll listen to that. So once again, more of the probably musical visionary, and if I can pull it off. And the last aspect I'd like to add is that I like to get into the guise of the group that we're doing.
Right.
So I'm not kind of looking like ridiculous. I do songs that everyone wants to hear or cover everybody. I mean, I can't do Michael Jackson, of course, or some other groups, but I know that I can do Depeche Mode really well, U2, INXS, and The Police, and Simple Minds, and several others. We're also doing some 90s grunge. When Gus and I first started talking, I said, I want to rock out. I am ready to rock out, and that's why I want Mark on drums, because he is a rocker. And Gus was on board with that too. So we're doing Stone Temple Pilots, we're doing Oasis, we're doing Nirvana, and Foo Fighters, and that's where we just kind of really can crank it up and rock out a little bit.
Right.
But we're also playing songs that people can dance to, and then we're kind of doing our own remixes on stage. We might be playing a Cure song, and it's probably 3 minutes long, but people are flocking to the stage to where okay, we ought to just keep this thing going. So
Right.
we'll end up doing a 7-minute version
Like
of
extended solos or
extended solos, extended middle eights and all that. So longer endings, repeat another verse, repeat another chorus, do another double chorus, because people are in that moment. And just when you see them, when we're on stage and seeing people are in that moment, you just I think we need to keep it going for those guys, because they're just loving their moment
if they're
right now.
if they're on the floor,
they're loving it.
if they're on the floor, you want to let
And-
them go. You don't want to let them go. So that's
Right.
That's important.
And we already have the next song potted up to where just we don't want to miss a beat. Now we're going to okay, here's another one. There's another interesting thing that we're doing that Gus and I were talking about early on. And what I learned in the past, we're doing this thing, lack of better labels is like rock blocks. And how I learned about this is I would go out and do a Coldplay song, or a Police song, or a Sting song, or by whoever. And as soon as when I was done with the song, people come up to the stage, "Oh, can you do another one? Can you do another Coldplay?"
we call those twofers.
Yeah, twofers. Can you play Clocks? Can you play this other one? And it's oh, well, yeah, I can play another one. And then I heard that a lot. I'm thinking, you know what? What I want to do is go out and do 2 and 3 song sets, almost, dare I say, mini tributes to that band.
Right.
So when we go out and play a Depeche Mode song, and we got them hooked in with a very popular song, just let's just keep that Depeche Mode feel going, because they're they're loving this.
Grooving on that.
And we have the next Depeche Mode right behind it, and they're just like, they don't miss a beat, and the crowd is at fever pitch.
Cool.
And I think we dialed that in because we were very intuitive about it, and we're paying attention to the crowd.
You got to pay attention. Hey, we're going to come right back with you guys. We're going to take a quick break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
And Deanna.
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Hey, we're back. What's up, North County's Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. We have Ultra in the house. Who does all your behind-the-scenes work? So it's, once again, is it your keyboard player? He does all the video stuff?
The video stuff is Mark,
Mark.
the drummer.
So
Yeah.
now, and he runs all your sound as well?
No, the sound is run by John. John
okay.
has, I have it listed here. So John has a Persona Studio Live R16 mixer.
Okay, is that with the iPad?
Yes, final processing through a DBX PA2. He has a house equalizer and feedback monitoring. And
Nice.
we go through a pair of L1 Bose speakers. So in the beginning, Michael purchased an L1, and so did John. That's basically our sound. He also runs a Roland FA08 keyboard station and a Yamaha YC61. So he runs all our sound. Mark does the videos. I do the digital marketing and getting the gigs.
Right.
And basically, Michael is the musical director. So we all have this.
Awesome.
We all have this ability and strength,
Right.
and we just trust each other to do our thing.
It's all kind of planned out.
You got to remember, Kelly, we only been around not even a year. I mean, our first gig last year was in April, so we're not even a year, and we've come to this level. So
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
we're still evolving. We're still looking for feedback, and we do that ourselves by looking at the audience, like Michael said, and we're dumping songs, bringing songs in, which is not a bad thing because we're going to be playing at Harry's, and Harry's wants you to play longer.
They do.
So these songs we've taken out, we're probably going to bring them back in at Harry's. And we're continuously learning songs. The funny thing about this band I found, because I've been in a lot of bands, once they know the material, they know the material. You don't have to
Right.
go over it so many times. We've skipped practices because we know our stuff. But we'll practice the new stuff coming up, and that's it.
Right.
And maybe we'll review something if we hear something from a gig. So this is another thing that Mark does. Mark records all our shows and sends it to us afterwards, so we can hear ourselves and analyze what we've done. And did we miss a note? Did we do something wrong? Or did something not sound right? And we could say,
Right.
okay.
Timing off somewhere, right.
The other thing you asked about songs, so John does analytics on Spotify. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
Where he finds the popular songs based on Michael's range. So together they come up with songs. Of course, Michael can veto anything, but we did Adventures of a Lifetime from Coldplay.
Right.
And at first Michael's like, wait a sec, the end of that song is pretty high out of my range. And so John said, I'll do it. And so John he's really worked on his falsetto, and he's nailing it. And we're doing that song now, and everyone loves that song. I didn't even know about that song until he brought it to the table. It's an iconic song. It's great. The dance floor is packed.
You guys will do really well at Harry's.
I hope so.
Yeah, I believe. Are you gonna start off like on a Sunday, or they gonna give you a Friday or a Saturday night?
It's a Saturday. So it's a
Saturday
Saturday
day?
afternoon. So I used to play there with Deja Vu a lot on Saturday afternoon.
Right.
So that's how I got the gig. I talked to the guy. I said, look,
Right.
I've
Anthony?
played there. Anthony, I've played there Saturday afternoons. I convinced him to book us. I think he heard some of our stuff. The cool thing, like I've played there and it's hit and miss on a Saturday afternoon.
It is.
It is.
But you guys will be able, between your drummer bringing in people,
Exactly.
and then you guys getting the word out and all
Exactly.
that. You guys, I've packed a Saturday afternoon with Rock of Ages, so it can be done.
Rock of Ages was iconic, kind of like what Ultra's trying to be.
Well, you guys will get there with your song
Yeah,
selection.
we will.
How you guys are doing it, you'll get there.
Well, people will show up for sure. And this is the thing that I've learned around here. It's holding them, right?
Right.
Like they
Oh, yeah.
show up, and do they leave after a set or do they stick around? And there's 15-minute breaks, so they could just leave. But, you know, our music is designed to keep them on the floor. So we'll report back to you, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do well there. And
I think you will.
And then we're going to go to a Saturday night probably. The downfall of a Saturday night, you know, as you get older, is you play till 12 and
You play till 1:30.
exactly. So
Yeah,
do we
it's
still want to
grueling.
do? I like Saturday afternoons.
I personally, unless Gene Baker comes to town, I will never book my band at Harry's just because it's just,
Yeah.
for me, it's just too much. I don't get home till 3:45 in the morning.
He's
after
a
I pay-
killer. He's a killer guitar player.
After I pay-
And he builds
pay
guitars
everybody.
too. He's a killer guitar player.
Yeah.
So the downfall about Harry's is the parking situation. Right?
Oh yeah,
You got to park there and unload, and then you got to pay your meter $20. And no, the cool thing is that you don't need to bring your sound system because they have a sound
it
system.
used to be a lot better there before Pismo changed the parking rules and
Okay,
all that.
changed that?
It was way better. You used to be able to park right out in front, and they actually had a little loading zone right there in the front where band members could pull up, unload their stuff, roll it inside real quick, and then come out and then go
Yeah.
park their car. But then they started ticketing band members
Oh, okay.
that would do that, and then after the ticketing, they just decided to change the whole thing.
But did they
So-
always provide sound? Because
Yeah.
okay, so that's a good thing. We don't have to bring all our PA system. So we're all in-ear monitors.
Right.
That's unique. John runs our in-ears, so we don't have to worry about the house running them. So I can get on my phone or my tablet and control my own in-ear. I want more guitar, I want more bass, I want more drum, whatever I want. You know, because every song's different, and you'll see me go back and adjust. But overall, we're looking forward to playing there. We really are.
Are they going to allow you to bring in your own sound guy or run your own sound, or are they going to have Charlie do it? Because Charlie's
Charlie-
really good.
Yeah, I've played with Charlie before. He's a Grammy Award-winning drummer. I played with him in the Derailers. Great guy. I know him well.
Right.
Great
sound man, too.
He sets you up, but he has an assistant now that runs the show because he leaves. The assistant runs it, and they've also upgraded their sound system. So it was pretty good last time I played
How
there.
long ago was that they upgraded it?
Maybe
Since
within
they-
the last
since-
6 months.
Oh, okay. I played there a while back, but it's been since I've been home with Gene. I did a Friday and Saturday night, and Charlie ran it the whole night. So this must be new to me that
Well,
he
it's
has an
also the
assistant.
afternoon, right? So it's too much for him to run the afternoon and the night.
Oh,
So
okay,
in
got
the
ya.
afternoon, he sets you up. His assistant runs you.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got to do the nighttime
Got
thing.
ya, got ya.
It's almost like Kip at the Siren. We don't. He's really good. We don't always get him.
Oh, I
because
love
he has
Kip.
To do he has to do the night.
Kip is
so can he
great.
do the afternoon and the night? That's a lot for him. So
Right.
we get the second guy in charge,
David Chalk?
and David Chalk, or there's another guy in the afternoon. But now they promoted us to night only.
Right.
And they also promoted us to cover charge, which is a good indication of how we're climbing the ladder.
Right.
Kind of like Molly Ringwald and Flannel 101, which is the same bass player, by the way. They're at the level where they're going to start charging $10 cover for us when we get there.
Right.
So giving us more money. Not that we're in it for the money, but it's nice to know that we're appreciated.
Right. It's that levelity.
Yes,
you
that's
know,
what it is.
That echelon that you've made it to.
It's nice to get the point when you're a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Michael
Yeah.
loves it there. I mean, he camps when we're there because he's got a trailer and he goes down there and does the kayaking. And
Oh, that's
It's a
awesome.
whole
That's
weekend
awesome.
for him.
I have been blessed, grateful, and just so honored to have sold out the Siren twice.
Oh, nice.
And it is, well, you guys will experience it. It's just a sea of people. I think it's like 200, 300 people. It's like 260 or 280, something like that. It's 300 people. So
Really?
it's a lot.
Oh, I didn't know it was that
Yeah,
much.
when they pack it in, You know, and there's people from the front of the stage all the way back to around the pool table and all that. It's a beautiful sight. It really is. It's really, but you know, you guys have played to large crowds, so you know what it's like. It makes you feel good.
We're getting there. I mean, like I said, we only started a year ago. We're going to be playing at Sea Pines this year. That's a big crowd.
Really great place to play. I've played Sea Pines a couple times, and it's a great crowd. It's super fun. One of the funnest things I love is watching the kids run around and dance.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool.
And also concerts in the park. We're doing Templeton.
Oh, I've done Templeton too with High Voltage.
And someone told me I wasn't supposed to announce it, but it said in the email I could. We're also an alternate for Paso. They haven't announced it in case someone doesn't show up. But those are also big gigs.
Played Templeton with High Voltage for over 400 people.
Wow.
And there were people across the street on the sidewalk. We were just like, holy Lord.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. So, hey, we're going to come back with what your guys' favorite venues are. We'll be right back, you guys. Please stay tuned. Please send some questions in to these guys. I'm sure they'll be more than welcome to answer them. Be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
We are back, Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. I got Ultra in the house this evening. There they are, Ultra. Look at them. Those guys look cool. All right, you guys, what would be, is there any venues you haven't played yet that you wish to play?
Wow.
I ask all the good questions.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't even know all the venues. I've been here since 2017. I've played a lot of venues, a lot of variety of places. I think really Concerts in the Park seems to be the, you know, where everyone wants to play.
Right. It's hard to get in that.
It is. A lot of people apply. One of the things that happens is people apply from outside our county. So people come from Ventura, people come from LA. And so we're competing against that as well. And so I think what they told me from Paso's, there was something like well over 100 applicants.
Right.
You know, and we didn't get selected, but we're an alternate. And in Templeton, they didn't tell me how many applied, but we did get selected. So those are the ones we'd like to play, Concerts in the Park.
I think we're getting a momentum. I mean, we've just been barely playing a year, and our official debut was at the Siren last June, and that's really kicked it off with, this is who we are. We got our performance down, our stage down, and we put on the performance that we've wanted to put on in front of a crowd.
Right.
And so the momentum just started really there. For me, I'm playing the places that I wanted to play. Thinking back, I was like, wow, I'd love to play the Siren. So the places I really wanted to play were the Siren, Cal Coast Brewing Company.
Great place to play.
That's like my favorite place
mine
to
too.
go
One
and
of my
hang with my
favorites.
friends. And
It just feels so good.
it's just, it's close to my house. My wife and I live about just a mile and a half from downtown.
Have you guys played there yet?
We did play there. For me, it was a dream come true because I've only been in Paso for like 3 years.
Did you guys play down below or up top?
Up top.
Up top.
Okay, but down below you'll get down below too. It's really fun.
Yeah, we're playing again there in August.
Make sure you take. They probably will have it, but in the summer, it gets. If you play
gets
down,
hot.
gets roasting down there. So take some
gets hot.
sunshade.
Yeah.
but it's really cool because you guys will pack it up. you'll pack up that floor, but then you'll pack up the mezzanines, those two mezzanines, and man, it is so cool to look up and see those people looking down at you, and it's just
That's
like
cool.
it's. I don't know, man. The first time I didn't even play there. First time I played there, I didn't even play with my band. I sat in with Soundhouse, and the crowd was definitely digging what I was doing, and I said, whoever's running this place, somebody send me an email. I want my band here. And people from the audience were going, yeah. And a week later, Eric had got the lady to email me.
Yeah, I mean, there's some places I'd like to play that are really difficult to get into, like Castoral. Michael's a member there, but they only bring bands that come through from L.A. and San Francisco there.
In a way, I think that's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it is, but I think eventually we will get in there. And, Barrel House, we played Slow Barrel House just before it closed down.
Right.
And we want to play, we've been accepted to play the one in Paso, but they haven't given us a date. And the fear is that our schedule is full now. And so they're going to come to us and we're not going to have any availability, so we're going to have to wait till September. But there are places where I would like to play where, as I said, they don't have that many local bands, and we can show them that, hey, a local band is just as good as a band coming from LA.
Definitely. There's some amazing talent here.
Yeah.
So I think that, these places need to remember to cater to the local bands, because in the winter time or times that are a little slower and those bands aren't coming through, we're the bands that kind of keep them afloat, right?
Right. And we're going to bring people.
You
and
will
that's what they
definitely
want.
bring
They want people there. They want new members. They want all that. So
Right.
we're going to help them with that. Club Car, that's another new place in Templeton.
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
Yeah, and it's small. It's really small, and they have a lot of solo artists, but they do some stuff, and they're experimenting. So those are the kind of places, rare places. We're going to play Ragged Point, and we were talking about it on the way here, Michael and I. It's quite the drive. It's going to take us an hour to get there.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a really good show, though. I mean, you don't really get what you would consider to be a huge crowd in front of you that stays there, but you get a rotating crowd, because people will come in and they'll have lunch and they'll watch you, and then they'll get in their car and drive off, and then some other people will come. So you really get a wide range of different people that are watching you. So you may play to 300 people, just not 300 people at one time.
Right, and there are a lot of tourists. So the other place we're playing coming up, we're playing actually twice, because they canceled us last month by mistake. They booked us by mistake. They weren't open, and they gave us 2 gigs in the next month, which is Sensorio.
Oh, cool.
And there's a light show there.
Yes, I've been there.
And there's 2 different ways you can go in there. You can pay the full price and do the full tour of the lights.
Right.
Or you can pay to just see the band. And you can still
okay.
see the lights. And so we're looking forward to that one. Like these places where they don't usually have bands.
Are you playing
starting to
that
do
in the summer or the winter?
No, this spring. Next month we're playing there twice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of chilly in the winter, but it's crazy how they do it in the winter.
Yeah.
They do it in the colder season.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the North County places do. I played on some stages in the North County where I was just, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's like I love doing it, but I'm freezing
Remember, I'm
over
Canadian,
here.
right?
Yeah.
I come from Canada. He comes from Ohio.
Right, you guys
so
got it
cold
down.
weather. I mean, not to push it, but back home.
You're acclimated.
Back home in Canada, if I played a show in the winter, it's going to be inside. But the spring and the fall is pretty cold in Canada. So I'm used to it personally, but he has to sing through it, so it's a little different for him.
Right, yeah. Well, to me, singing in the cold is, my body tenses up, and it's not very enjoyable.
Yep.
And I want to enjoy what I'm doing, so
Right.
it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys, now me, I have a switch that I if somebody said to me right now, I need you to perform right now. Yeah, I can get up and do it, but it's going to take me a little while to warm up to it. I kind of have to turn a switch on. Like I'll turn my switch on, 45 minutes or an hour before I go on, where I pump myself up and I'm, yeah. Is there a switch you guys switch on for either one of you, or do you just get up and do it?
For me, I can get up and do it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I wasn't playing in bands, I would go see performances, and I would ask to sit in, and I was doing that a lot in between bands. And I would just like in a minute tell them who I am, what I've done, and my level, and I'd be able to just jump up on stage and sing and play, so which is kind of fun for me. And so I'm able to actually turn it on pretty quick.
That's cool.
It's nice to do the vocal exercises first, now that I started singing a bit.
Yeah, I warm up every time.
But the thing is, since I've been doing the Powerhouse jams, because I still do those, by the way,
Right.
I do 2 a month, that's taught me that instinct of being able to just play. I was talking to you about it on the phone. So I've learned the instinct to follow people on stage and to just play, and I've got the confidence that I can just jump up and play now. And that wasn't there for most of my musical, that's a hobby for me and not really a career, but that has really been fine-tuned through the jams.
Yeah. I mean, no matter, I don't go out a lot. And one of the reasons why I don't go out is because a lot of people ask me to jump up and perform with them. And it's not that I don't necessarily don't want to, but a lot of times I really just want to go and watch the bands and be the guy that doesn't sing for the night.
Yeah, every time I go see you somewhere, they ask you to get up there.
Yeah, and so I can get up and do it on the spot, but when I have my own project, I want to be in a certain mindset and a certain, just like I said, a certain mindset when I get on stage that I want to be able to own that situation. And it's, you know, when I go, I expect to hear that sound that I'm expecting to hear. So for me, it's kind of a mindset. So I was just curious if that was something that either of you guys needed to do before you went on. Let me see here. Do you guys have any, like, when you're done with a show, like say you, Michael, because you're the lead vocalist.
Yeah.
When you're done with the show, is there any mood or setting or thing, because this is big for me, that you have to have after a show?
Well, my adrenaline is going,
Right.
and just to get, and the energy level in the room has just been really, really high.
Right, I know the feeling.
And you're running on sometimes, well, early in the night you're running on nervous energy, and then you just get this adrenaline rush towards the end,
Right.
and it's great. It peaks, and then sound down, lights off. And so I have to catch my breath for a few minutes, but I don't like to go out back and hide, and, you know. Or what I do is I go right onto the audience, and I go out and I start talking with everyone and thanking everyone for coming.
Right, I try to do that myself.
And right away, and grab a drink, cool down, cool off, and just start talking with people. And people just are very complimentary, and people have some things to share. That was my favorite song when I was doing this, or, oh, REM, that was my favorite band. Oh, you played my 2 favorite songs, and, you know, or they tell you just like, oh, Depeche Mode. He goes, I've seen them so many times. This is probably a great compliment that we got. We have some Depeche Mode fans, and they said, oh my God, that's one of my favorite bands, and I've seen them so many times. And I'm just like, oh, how'd we do? He goes, oh, you did so great. You did them so great. I was like, thank you.
Right.
That's a great compliment.
It is.
Especially when it's their favorite band. You don't want to do a crappy job or a wedding, you know, singer version of it,
Yeah.
and, you know, just try to fumble through. It's just like we try to kind of get into that guise of the band, so it kind of feels a little bit like that band, and people appreciate that. So that's great feedback for us that we are having that effect.
Gus, we're going to come right back, and we're going to ask you that same question. We will be right back, you guys. Please stay tuned in, and we'll be right back.
My name is Jennifer Borhone-Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
We're back. What's Up North County's Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. And I wanted to ask you that same question.
Sure. Yeah, so there is a part where we have to take down, so that's important. I'm lucky as the bass player, I don't have a lot of equipment.
Right.
But John, for example, he has a ton of equipment in the PA, so he's focused on that. So I'm glad Michael goes out and talks to the fans. That's important. Mark's got to take down his drums. I do a little bit of both. I'll go out there and talk to people. I have to go collect the money.
Right.
He's our band manager.
I have to.
so am I.
He's management.
I have to get the tip jar. And
I do that too, yeah.
Right, because
I hate that.
Unfortunately, there is theft out there. So I want to take care of these things right away.
Right.
And we start taking down. So it depends on the venue, and I like to talk to people as well and get feedback and find out what's going on. And then like at the Siren, I go talk to Monty if he's there because he booked us.
Right.
So how did it go, Monty? Then and he's the one that told us, what, you guys are ready to $10 cover charge, and you're ready to go up to a higher level. So I do a lot of that everything stuff and set up the next gig, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, what about for me, on my way home, when all that stuff is done, people are gone, your gear's all packed up, you're on your way home. I myself, I don't want to hear anybody talking. I just want silence. How about you guys? Do you guys drive home in silence, or you listen to music? Because I'm always curious to know what other musicians what other musicians are doing. Because maybe I'm a freak, but I'm like, no stereo. I don't want to hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to drive home in silence.
For me, I'm still bringing my energy level down. You're all hyped up.
Right.
I'm all hyped up. So, and then breaking down and packing everything up. It's just like, okay, I've expended a lot of energy. So when I get home, I sleep really well. But it takes me a little while to wind down.
Yeah.
And I like silence too, and I'm not really looking to listen to any music on
Yeah,
radio
me neither.
dial. I just need to have my ears calm down, kind of bring my level down.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I think I'm a little different. I always need some kind of music. But what happens to me, and I got this from my physical therapist, so when I get home, I have a ritual that I go through. I ice my hands because I've been playing for 3 hours. I ice my knees and my back because I have, some ailments and some soreness.
Right.
So I treat it like an athlete. I ice
totally.
myself. And then I also, like Michael, have to wind down because the adrenaline is up there, right? So at these gigs where you end at 12 midnight or 1, I'm not going to bed till 3 or 4 because I'm winding
That's
down.
how I am. Yeah.
But if I finish at 9, then I can get to bed by 12. And it also depends if my wife comes with me or not, because I'm cautious to her being in the car. And she didn't do what I did, so she probably wants to listen to some music, or maybe she doesn't, So I ask her what's going on, and she might want to put on her station instead of my station,
Right.
or listen to a podcast,
There you go.
something like that.
I'll do that. Maybe podcast a little low or whatever.
Yeah.
Some Joe
Then you have a
Rogan.
daytime gig like Mulligan's where you're getting home really early, like on a Sunday afternoon. So no big deal there. You just get home, and it's only a 2-hour gig, so I don't have to ice as long.
Right.
But I do ice everything and make sure that I'm ready for practicing the next day.
Speaking of practicing, how many times do you guys rehearse? Like in a week or a month?
It's weekly. Like, for example, it rained last week on a rehearsal night, so we skipped it, and it's raining tomorrow, so we're skipping it again. But like I said, we know our stuff.
Do you guys have a designated night you rehearse? Usually?
We do, yeah. Yeah, because John has a side business. He's a financial advisor, so he's busy with customers on certain nights of the week.
Okay.
So we picked that one night that works, and I was in 2 bands. Now I'm only in 1, and I might be in 2 in the future, so you try to split that up. So we have that one night. But like I said, this band knows their stuff, so we only need to practice the new songs.
It seems like more bands, a few years ago, I knew a lot of bands that just didn't rehearse. They're like, oh, we know the music and we don't rehearse, and we'll just text one another a song we want, and we'll all just learn it, and then we'll just hop on stage and just burn it. And
I heard that.
We used to do that in Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
Like, we were together for 7 years, so after a while it was like, I think in 7 years we maybe rehearsed 5 times.
Mm-hmm. You knew your stuff.
We rarely ever rehearsed.
You knew your
stuff. But we would just text
yeah.
one another and go, this is the song we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We would jump up and do it. But
yeah.
there's a lot of bands now, and mine being one of them, Soundhouse, Nothing But Trouble, where you guys, where all bands are, which I think is great, are all like rehearsing it at least once or twice a month or once a week or whatever. And I think that makes for great camaraderie, for one, within the band, because you're all hanging out aside from being on stage, right? Because to me, being in a band is really a lot about the camaraderie and the brotherhood that a band brings. You know, because without it, I think that carries over to the crowd, just as camaraderie carries over to the crowd. If we look like we're bros on stage and we're having a great time and we love what we're doing, that carries over to the crowd, and the crowd goes, they love what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then they go, wow, this is awesome.
So there is
it makes a
something
difference.
so what we look at is not practicing the whole song, right? We'll say, okay, you know what, how are we going to move from this song to that song?
Right.
Without stopping.
That's how High Voltage did it. We
right?
never rehearsed
And
songs.
how are we going to start songs? So startings and endings.
Right.
And then when we listen to the recording, Mark records everything, we notice that maybe, something's missing in the bridge. So we'll go over and say, well, what do you think we should do here? And then Michael will come up with an idea. And so then we just improve. Remember, we've only been around a year.
Right.
So we're improving. But we're adding a new song. And we just added 2 new songs. We added a Smith song and a U2 song. And these are iconic songs. So we worked on those till we got them. We nailed them.
Right.
And then we got another Police song coming down the pipe. So we're going to have to nail that one. We know the stuff we know. And then the order of the songs, because, like I said, we go from song to song without a break sometimes.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Which is really good. Keeps people on the floor. Do you guys have any rules or things in the studio that you want to allow, you don't allow, or you don't? I've always been. I don't mind people coming into the studio, but I don't want it to be a party because then we don't get any real work done, Yeah. Don't really want people getting too out of their head because then we're not really getting the music down the way it should be. Do you guys have any rules in the studio like that? Like no drinking or no weed smoking or no,
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been thinking about your question, and we don't have established rules because these guys are super smart, mature. They're really into contributing to this group concept, Ultra,
right.
And everyone's just putting everything they have into it, and everyone's taking care of it. Like this is an entity we created.
Right, your little baby.
People are bringing, each of us 4 are bringing something to make this thing really special, and I think we have just an unsaid high mutual respect. And we're also open to each other's ideas. Oh, I don't like that. That's not working. And just like, what can I do to make that better? And each of us keep ourselves in check. So we really, really get along. I mean, it's amazing that these 4 people came together to create this entity, Ultra. People are digging it. And I think a big reason, which you kind of alluded to earlier, they're seeing the camaraderie that we have, the fun that we're having playing this music together for you, the audience, and we love what we're doing, and it looks like we're really good friends.
It carries over,
and it is. We are, and it makes it authentic. So,
but I see what you're saying because I've seen it in other bands, and usually the rule comes after. So in other words, someone brings their girlfriend, and it becomes a distraction.
So it's not.
And then because of the distraction, I go to the band leader and I say, I don't think that's a good idea. And so the rule comes afterwards. We've never had to do that. It's like everyone is mature and knows that our rehearsals are important. So no one brings their girlfriend. We close the garage and we focus.
Yeah, I'm not. Somebody wants to snap a bong hit or something before rehearsal, okay, but just somebody puffing the whole time through rehearsal or whatever. I just I don't do any of that, and I just kind of roll my eyes like, we could be here a while, So I really don't, Not that I'm one to put my foot down and say, somebody can't do something.
Yeah.
But for me, as somebody that's trying to lead a band, I prefer it not to be that way. Because I prefer that to be the way we are on stage.
I mean, that's a party band, right? So
I want everybody to be as sober as possible on stage.
I've been in those bands. That's a party band. That's not what we are. We're a serious
Yeah,
band.
I agree.
You know? And I've been in those bands, and it's been fun. I was younger, and everyone did that. We just partied. But that band wasn't going to go anywhere, and I knew it. But this band, you can feel it's going somewhere because everyone's serious.
Yeah. Do you guys have a ritual that you do before you hit the stage? Like, do you huddle up, or do you, fist bump or anything like that?
Yeah, we've been doing it, especially when these bigger shows, when there's like the place is packed already, and we're backstage at the Siren. Just like, okay, the crowd's there, the lights are on. Kip says we're on in 3. You guys ready to go? You're just like, okay, good. Everyone take a breath. Let's have a good show. And we'll do with our fist bumps, hand.
We stand in the hallway there,
and
just before the stage entrance. Right. We all huddle up and
exactly.
We're gonna do
everyone
this.
Have a good show.
Yeah.
Just have everyone relax. Don't worry about a thing. Have a good time.
And this is one thing that I've always stressed with everyone I've played with, that nobody on stage tonight is making a mistake. And if you think you make a mistake, then we probably know you made a mistake. And when you make a mistake, Gus, I'm going to look over at you and I'm going to go, I'm not going to scowl at you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, hey, yeah, I'm going to look at you. You already know. You're not dumb. You know what happened. If I make a mistake, I already know what happened.
Yeah.
You're going to look at me and smile too. And when we do that to one another as musicians on stage, where we look at each other and we know our co-part made a mistake, or we know we made a mistake, and we all look at each other and smile and laugh, that's when we know that camaraderie and that brotherhood is there, because we're not, kicking each other when we're down. And you know what? Half the time, the crowd doesn't notice it. They are loving what's going on, and they don't notice it. I mean, unless you totally just railroad it.
Well, that's
Right.
nice to hear, and that's affirming for us. I mean, I think that this band being about a year old and really having a momentum over the last several months, we started playing places early before we thought we were ready. But we thought, let's just get on there anyway. We know the song well enough to play it through. And people started responding early on to the band, where our band just wasn't, I personally didn't think it was refined. But people sometimes hear enough of a song to just like, oh, that's my favorite song. And it's just like you play a semblance of it, they're just loving it.
Right.
And so I was kind of sensing that earlier on. It's like, oh, we're playing out, but we're still working on the material, but people are loving it. So, but I will never say anything in front of people, but with Mark doing the recordings, we listen back, and in our rehearsals, we go back and refine it, do that song better. It's work on
That's
the
a great idea,
transitions.
too.
Let's change the song order. This is the arc of the first set, then the second set, and then we're going to peak here. So we worked on that stuff, and each of us are open to criticism. So we keep that to ourselves, and again, the crowd has really responded to us kind of earlier on, and we just realized ourselves, even though the crowd is not hearing it or criticizing us, we know we need to get better, and that's what we've done. And since last fall, because we started playing a lot of gigs, and we're still kind of still putting it together in a way.
Right.
And I think we got to the point where we're just like, okay, we got it, because last November, December, we got together and talked just like, okay, I think we have everything to be successful for 2025. We did this, that, song list, bands, people responding to us. We got all the good songs, song order, we got the equipment, now we got the look. And I go, instead of jumping onto 10, 20 new songs, let's take what we have, we can add some new songs, and let's refine what we're doing and do the songs better and play them at a higher level. So that's where we're focused.
Cool. What would you want your fans to know most about you? Like what do you want your fans to think about you? Like, as far as who you are and what you convey to them, like.
Well, that we love what we're doing, that we play these songs well, that we're personifying either the group we're playing or the genre we're playing, and we are giving them an ultra experience.
There you go. That's great. Great way to use your name there.
Yep.
And what do your families think? Like, what does your family think, Gus, about what you're doing and
Yeah,
all
so
that.
I don't have a lot of family here, right? I'm an only child, and I came here
But
from
like, I
Canada.
mean, like
so
say your wife.
My wife is 100% supportive.
cool.
She's just supporting it all the way. She knows I took a break to focus on being with the family, and then she didn't even know I played. I mean, she forgot that I played before I met her, right? So when I picked it back up, she was kind of impressed, and she's like, "Wow, I didn't know that you played that well." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not really that great." But to them, they see you play and they think that's great. Very supportive. My friends are very supportive. We have a lot of followers from Canada, and I'm sure Ohio as well.
Right.
Because our families back home still follow us, and
That's
so
true.
Very supportive.
Well, hey, we're going to wrap this up, but I wanted to real quick, I wanted to get your upcoming shows. What do you guys got coming up?
Yeah, so we have Midnight Sellers on Saturday. Unfortunately, it's sold out.
That's this Saturday?
Right.
I'll be there.
Okay. You'll be there. Yeah, good thing. All right,
Yeah.
Midnight
And it was
Sellers
gonna-
right there.
It was going to rain, but I think it's going to be nice now. We're going to be at Mulligan's on the 21st.
And what time is Midnight Sellers?
2 o'clock. There's 2
2
bands.
o'clock, March 15th, Midnight Sellers there in Paso Robles.
Right.
And what's your next one?
Mulligan's.
But it's sold out, remember?
Mulligan's on Friday the 21st.
Mulligan's on Friday the 21st. What is that? 4 o'clock?
That is 5 to 7.
5 to 7. All right.
And
there
then
you
we'll
go,
be at
Mulligan's.
Outlaws on the first Saturday of the next month.
All right. Outlaws coming up. And what time is that?
That's at 7 to 9.
7 to 9. So all you people checking this out, you can go back and listen to this and find out, or you can write it down, the dates and the times for these shows. Then that way you can make sure that you catch Ultra. You're definitely going to want to check these guys out. Like I said, I have seen their set list. I have their set list, and it is outstanding. Like if you, all you dancing girls out there, and all you guys with dancing girls, if you want to really go check out a great band that sounds amazing, that has all the sound and all that, you close your eyes and it sounds like the frickin' band. These are the guys to see. So definitely go check them out. Those are the dates. And you guys, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's a
thanks
pleasure
for
to have you
having
guys.
us. It's an honor.
And we'll get you back in the future and see what you guys have been up to, and get you back in again sometime.
That'd be great.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much, you guys. Hey, this is the Rebel Bear. You guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, you can catch this on Spotify tomorrow and anytime after that. See ya.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
and Deanna
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.